Ready. And they're off. Miss Capitano got an awkward start. Youcrackmeup likewise. They were about 2 lanes slow. Nairobi, first one to show. Golden Pacific's fighting in the early stages. Sundrop very eager at the outside. Magenta's in a nice rhythm against the rails. Golden Pacific now comes back to herself. Youcrackmeup, 3 deep the outside, goes a little bit closer. They followed further back by Coffee in Seattle, the white sleeves and cap. Red Love switched off one from last, and that leaves Miss Capitano at the back of the field. 8 lengths in it. Nairobi in front by just over 1 length of a Sundrop, who continues to be eager in second. Magenta's third. Then comes Youcrackmeup, who races at the outside of Magenta. Golden Pacific is now in a better place against the inside rail, but now being cajoled along in the white blinkers. Red Love also being asked to run. Coffee in Seattle got most of the field to get past. Miss Capitano's at the back. 400 metres left to run. Nairobi in front. Second place is Sundrop. Then comes Magenta. Youcrackmeup towards the outside. Gets on terms to Nairobi. Then comes Golden Pacific. But now with 150 left to run, Youcrackmeup came stomping into the lead. Nairobi second. Golden Pacific rushing up to Youcrackmeup. But Youcrackmeup kept Golden Pacific at bay. Third goes to Nairobi. And then came Magenta. So the winner's 2 off the right-hand side. A little bit sluggish off the mark and looking almost straight up into the sky. Looking at Lady Slipper, which is the mountain at the pull-up area, or obviously behind the pull-up area. And Youcrackmeup has been delivered to victory over Golden Pacific. Will end up running into second.
Well, a super win there from newcomer to the Eastern Cape, Youcrackmeup, representing the Cliffy Miller yard. And they were so close in the last race, but they've gone one better here in the winner's box. Next to me, I've got Aubrey, who looks after Youcrackmeup, and I've got to say he's done a particularly good job. She's a big girl, I'd say close on 18 hands, and she's got very independent. She knows what she wants in life. Aubrey's had to work with a difficult girl. He's done a fantastic job. Aubrey, well done.
Bye, Dan.
I really think, you know, in general, grooms have a hard job and a tough job, and this time round, Aubrey's really lifted his game. She's a little bit more difficult than most. Marco joining me. Now, Marco is Cliffy Miller's son, and it's good to have him back in the Eastern Cape. You know your way around the Port Elizabeth track. It's great to have you here, and so touched off in the last race. Great to have you in the winner's box here.
Thanks, Nadine, and also happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed it, eh?
I have.
Yes, thanks to you know, I've been his jockey for over 20 years now, you know, and he's always supported me. And when the noms came out, he phoned me, he said, listen, I've got good riders and I need you.
Yeah.
I was like, no problem, I'll be there. So well done to him. He had them ready, and yeah, she won. So.
Now, tell us a bit about her. You don't know her, but I'm sure that when you came into the ring, Nick and them have said she's a difficult individual, and she's huge. She had a groom on her. She had 2 leading her. You must have thought, oh, I'm going to earn my riding fee on this one.
Yeah, look, you know, I wasn't told that she's that difficult. I was just told that, you know, be aware it depends. You know, she doesn't want to load. She rears up and she kicks her. She puts up a big fight, you know. So it was just getting her to the start, which was fun. And then when I was there, you know, well done to Tommy and to the handlers. You know, they were all there assisting and helping. Like you say, she's big and she can be difficult. I noticed that there was a few times she almost went up. But once she was in, she was quiet. So well done to the team at home. You know, they got her to go in. Yeah. They got her to stand. And she came out a little bit soft. I couldn't tuck her in from there, you know. She's just too big. Yeah. So I left her out in open. I gave her, I went three wide around the bend, and I just kept fighting her, forcing her to improve her position. Yeah. So when she came to the straight, she picked it up and she ended up winning a nice race. So she'll go a mile. I'm sure about that. So I think there's more in it, I think.
Well, that's really good to hear. Again, good to have you riding winners here in the Eastern Cape. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great to catch up with Marco. They got a long history, not only with Mr. Miller, but riding here in Nelson Mandela Bay. Done a fantastic job on this big lady, and they're in the winner's box. Mr. Miller, I know you just missed winning the race that was dedicated to you by 4 Racing, but you've gone one better here, and great to have you in the winner's box.
Yeah, Nadine, thank you to 4 Racing as well.
Yeah.
And really, it's nice for me to honor the people at least, and that's been in it so long as well, you know. And also, I first got to come say thank you to Nicholas. He did a sterling job with this filly, especially at the starting stalls. It shows me he's learned. All I'm going to do from now onwards, I'm going to come, every time there's racing, I'll come back from Kimberley. I'm going to come lead them in, and he must do the work, you know?
It sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah,
but
I think so,
I think
yeah,
it's fantastic that all of you, Nick and Heather, are involved in this. It's really special.
Yeah, you know, when I got the filly from Grant and obviously from John on the farm, she had issues at the starting stalls and stuff, very big issues. And I know there's something I have to do for the next start that I have to do, tongue tie, for example.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Marco. You know, he tells you things that you need to know, that you don't really pick up so much in the work, you know.
Yes.
And that's why I brought Marco down, and he'll be riding for me from now onwards again, like in the old days, like in Kimberley, you know. So I love Marco riding, not only because he rode a winner, but he listens, and I don't really give Marco instructions. I tell him the do's and don'ts of the horse, and he does his own thing.
And he gives you good feedback.
Exactly, and he's ridden a hang of a lot of winners for Gavin on the poly. So there's nobody better than get Marco back. He knows the poly, he knows me, and he knows he'll get a broken arm if something happens wrong. So that's his. But I love the kid. He's rode a lot of winners for me in 20 years. He used to ride for me.
Oh, fantastic. With that, I'm going to ask Nick to come in and join you with a share in this horse, and ask Karen to hand over that wonderful check, because all of you are members of the Racehorse Owners Association.
And I'd just like to thank Hollywood as well for their sponsorship and looking after me.
Bigger blanket for her.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. She's very big. I actually told the guys, you know, that I told Marco, if any of the midgets gets in front of him, just go over them. Nobody will notice they're there, you know. So, but thank you,
Speed
Nadine.
bumps.
Thank you, everything. Yes.
And I'd like to have a chat with Nick most definitely. And you're welcome to take the check there. There you go. And Nick, I've got to say well done to you, first from an owner's perspective, because you're involved here with Heather, so a really special win. But I've also say once again, huge thanks to you. You gave us so much confidence in her. Obviously, you can't predict the way she's going to behave on a race day, but you pointed out the work, if produced, will find her in the #1 box.
Yeah, she's one of those fillies who puts up phenomenal work. You know, she had a gallop around when we went to put her through the pens, and she went with the MR90 and she obliterated him. So on that, and she kept on producing, and work wasn't just a once-off. And I thought, you know, if she goes into the pen, she'll win this. That was, I think I was nervous the whole week from Monday, especially this morning, just her getting in there. And thank goodness she did.
She certainly does a sterling job, and she's no easy ride. Now I'm going to step up here quickly and just say that Mark Paddock, which is Nick's dad, also had a winner today. Nick's had a winner today, so I think that's fantastic. And I think it just points out, this being Youth Day, the youth coming through, fantastic to have you here. And you're a huge role player at the moment in the Cliffy Miller Yard and in racing here in the Eastern Cape. So once again, a big thanks to you.
Thank you very much. I told the old man we should have taken a double, but I won't say that in front of Cliffy, because we did run second there.
Well, there you go. A little bit of a giggle there. And once again, huge appreciation to both Mr. Miller and Nick. They are one of the most transparent yards in the Eastern Cape. Everyone does give the feedback, and we're really grateful. But Nick he's not worried at all about putting his head on the line and calling it as he sees it, and we really appreciate that.